Hello. You probably know the world around you pretty well, as you see it every day. But what if we just zoom in? A lot. If you look at this image I found, you can see microorganisms. These microorganisms include bacteria, amoebae, cells, and coincidentally, what we're talking about right now, viruses. I would go into how they were first created, but no one has a definitive answer to the question. The current speculation is that they were genetic material that were able to escape from the host cell and started infecting other cells. These genetic materials later evolved into viruses. Before I move on, I must tell you that a virus in fact isn't alive, except when they infect a cell. The thing is that they consist of a hull, genetic material, and some proteins. They can't move around, but instead float around waiting for a cell to infect. Speaking of infected cells, a cell infected by a virus is called a virocell. Viruses reproduce by hijacking a cell with viral proteins that recreate the virus's genetic material. To go more in detail about this, a virus releases its genetic material into the cell and rearranges the organelles to make more viruses. They use this to make viroplasm. Viroplasm is a thing that recreates the virus's genetic material to make more viruses. Before, before we continue, I must tell you about virophages, a virus that hunts other viruses. A virophage usually goes after viruses, which are giant viruses, but they can also go after viruses. So what virophages do is that when a virus infects a cell, they hijack the cell's protein injected into the cell, and they use it to make more virophages instead of viruses. To help you understand more about viruses, I will be talking about three different ones, starting with dengue. Dengue is a viral disease that is spread through mosquitoes. It is a vector borne disease, which is the exact same thing as saying it is a mosquito borne viral disease. It is found mostly in tropical and subtropical climates around the world, and mostly in urban or semi-urban areas. There are four different types of dengue. The four different types are known as DENV1, DENV2, DENV3, and DENV4 respectively, thus making it possible to be infected four times. Symptoms of the virus include nausea, vomiting, rashes, and aches and pains. And as it is spread by mosquitoes, preventable measures include wearing mosquito repellents and wearing long sleeved shirts and pants, among others. Now moving on to the Zika virus. The Zika virus is also a mosquito borne disease, but unlike dengue, it doesn't have many symptoms. When you're infected, the symptoms are very mild. The symptoms include fever, rash, joint pains, and red eyes. The symptoms are usually gone in a week. The reason I'm talking about Zika virus though is because the symptoms in pregnant women. If a pregnant woman gets infected by the Zika virus, it can get them paralyzed and give children birth defects. Now, ways to protect yourself are the same as dengue, as it is also a mosquito-borne virus. So if you want to protect yourself, listen to the things I've said above. Now moving on to SARS-CoV-2, or as most may know it, COVID-19. COVID took the whole world by storm, as there was no way to cure or prevent it, and forced the whole world into lockdown. Now there are many vaccines for COVID though, but I must talk about the symptoms and causes first. Now, COVID was first started in December of 2019 in Wuhan, China. Since then, it has spread throughout the whole world, and as of current 2022, it still exists. The symptoms of COVID 19 include fever, cough, headache, loss of taste, and fatigue. But the symptoms can vary. Since then, more vaccines have been created for COVID. And if you don't know what a vaccine is, it is a fake version of the virus that helps bring immunity to the virus. The vaccine itself doesn't cause any symptoms, but the immune system can cause fevers to try to kill the virus. So now onto the vaccines for COVID itself. Some of the vaccines include Pfizer, BioNTech, Johnson and Johnson, mRNA, and lastly Moderna. Now, this is all I have to talk about. I really hope you learned a thing or two from this video. And this is me signing off. Bye.